Today I'm going to be doing some wiring. My favorite thing to do on these things. I'm going to be wiring in the Dakota Digital cluster, which is right here. And then we got a couple of control boxes we got to wire in to make it all work. Like this is the main controller for it, and then this is the OBD2 interface. So this thing's pretty cool. Judging by what I read from the directions, I should get a lot of my inputs for the cluster from this guy. Because if you didn't have that, you would have to use their universal sender pack to get like oil pressure, coolant temp, and some other stuff too. So I think all I'm gonna really need to do is fuel level sending unit, the power for it. The Tack is going to get through the OBD2, and all this other stuff is going to get through OBD2. And then just other little things like the high beams, the turn signals, and the dimmer switch, stuff like that. And got my wiring schematic for the factory setup for a new edge. So what I should be able to do is take power from these connectors here and here. I think this one's mainly for the lights, and this is for the other stuff like the power and ground and a bunch of other crap. So yeah, might not be too interesting of a video, but this is what we're doing today. Wish me luck. So my plan to mount this stuff is to take the OBD2 interface and then put it probably right here, because that should be out of the way of the stereo. I wanted to put it here, but I wasn't sure if the stereo went so deep that it would hit it. So I think it's nice and tucked and out of the way right here. I don't know how I'm gonna attach it, maybe double stick tape or something, or I'll drill a hole and I'll mount it. And then this guy, I'm hoping there's gonna be enough room to kind of place it up here, or maybe this way. I'm not sure yet. I'm just gonna hook it up, make sure it all works, and then I'll worry about where to put it. I know right here like this, it will clear the instrument cluster once it's in. And if that doesn't work, I'll maybe have to extend the wires down and maybe put it on the very bottom here or something, or I'll find a way to get it all working and get it hidden so you can't see it. So like I said, out of these two connectors, this one, I got the power from this connector right here, which is the red and white wire is hot at all times. The white with blue is hot and start or run, and then the black is ground. So I'll just strip these. And then I could, oh, that last one didn't strip. Do this one again. Come on, I'm filming here. There we go. All right, so now we can put them into the controller and then hook up the controller to the cluster just to make sure that it at least powers up. And then once I know that it powers up right, I could start working on the other inputs like the dimmer and turn signals and high beam and stuff. I guess that stuff's not really important right now, but I'll probably do it anyways. So now we got power to the cluster. We can turn the key on. And the interface box got the indicator light on. Now, the only thing is I ran into a little bit of an issue with the wrong white with blue wire. So the first one I clipped was this one, which is also white with blue. This one is actually for the high beams, and this one is for accessory key on power. So when looking at the connector on the back, the first pin is ground, The number 3 pin with white and blue, or white with blue stripe, that's your high beams. When you look at the front of it, you see how these cavities are a little bit bigger right here? The second one in on the bottom, so this guy, sorry, there's a lot of sun. That one is for accessory power. So if you flip it over, I needed to cut that wire. Come on, focus. Yeah, that's the one we need right here. So once I got that figured out, everything's working now. There's some stuff you gotta do to set up these boxes. Like you have to calibrate it for some stuff. Obviously I need to read more of the directions, but I'll be doing that next. So I got all the basic stuff wired in, all the leads connected to the interface, to the cluster and everything. And then you actually need to have this switch connector wired up, because the switch is what you use to set up everything. So what you really need to do to put this into setup mode is hold the button down as you turn the key on, and then both of these readouts should read setup on both of them, and then you just follow the manual. Like I already did the speed setup. Now I'm gonna attempt to do the RPM setup. Okay, so I messed up, but it's an easy fix. I picked the wrong setting for the Tack setup. So when you go through the menu, you go through Tack, you hold it down, it should display Tack engine. Then you hold down the button again, and it should show you the current status engine. So I had it on, for engine, I had it on 8 because it's a V8, but I didn't read the directions good enough. So you're supposed to put it on engine bus, because I had it on 8 and then I just wasn't getting any Tack signal at all. So just keep clicking through the menu, and engine bus, and hold it down. Boom, you're done. So key off, fire it up. Oop. And now we got Tack signal. So I changed my mind about where I was going to mount stuff. I think it looks a lot better just mounting everything here and here. And then I took the factory harness, which is right here. I stripped it and then trimmed all these wires to length. I wrapped the rest of the harness and I tucked it. You can see the little connectors back there. So I just tucked it off to the side, since none of those are going to be used anymore. And I think it's a whole lot cleaner having it here. And plus it would have been a little janky putting it all the way up in here. So yeah, not too bad. Now have functioning gauges. Still getting the error code for the oil pressure, because I think the oil pressure has to be ran off of a sending unit instead of the OBD2. But I'll tap into a pressure port for that, and I'll do that later. That's why the gauge is just nothing right there. But we got volts, RPM. I haven't checked speedo yet, but we got damn it. Coolant temp, and then I need to calibrate the fuel level sending unit. And yeah, it's hot today. So I forgot to show that everything else works too, like the left turn signal, right turn signal, high beams, the light for the e-brake, and verified coolant temp works. Let it idle for a little bit. Fan came on. Fan's off now because it dropped back down. I gotta figure out where the fan comes on and where it turns off. It looks like it comes on around 200. I still need to tighten up the exhaust because you can hear the clanking around underneath it, but